Energy poverty occurs when a household must reduce its energy consumption to a degree that negatively impacts the inhabitants' health and well-being. It is mainly driven by three underlying root causes. A high proportion of household expenditure spent on energy-low income or low energy performance of buildings and appliances.
Europeans unable to keep their homes adequately warm 8%. In 20,000 to 106.9%, in 20,000 to 119.3% in 2022, source Eurostat, June 2023.
In 2016, the Commission launched the Energy Poverty Observatory (EPOV) initiative, and 1 year later, the European Pillar of Social Rights includes energy as an essential service, which everyone is entitled to. Additionally, the pillar includes the right to appropriate help and protection against forced evictions.
The Clean Energy for All Europeans package adopted in 2019 introduced explicit obligations to identify, monitor and address energy poverty through the national energy and climate plans next. Since then, several EU countries have integrated targeted measures and are developing their own definitions, measurement and monitoring methods and solutions to energy poverty.
In 2020, the Commission published its first recommendation on energy poverty EU 2021-563, issued as part of the Renovation Wave strategy. It provided guidance on adequate indicators to measure energy poverty, promoted the sharing of best practices between EU countries, and highlighted EU funding programs that prioritize measures targeting vulnerable groups.
Building on this recommendation, the Fit for 55 feet package proposed in July 2021 included specific measures to identify key drivers of energy poverty risks for consumers, taking into account structural solutions to vulnerabilities and underlying inequalities.
To clarify what measures were possible to tackle the spike in energy prices that started in 2021, the Commission published Tackling Rising Energy Prices, a Toolbox for Action and Support. EU 2021-660. The communication lists a range of short and medium-term initiatives that can be taken at national level to support and help the most vulnerable consumers.
In December, the Commission proposed a recast of the Energy Performance of Buildings Directive and of the Hydrogen and Decarbonized Gas Market Package, which further stressed the importance of mitigating energy poverty in EU policy.
In April 2022, the Commission Energy Poverty and Vulnerable Consumers Coordination Group was established. Decision EU 2020-589. It aims to provide EU countries with a space to exchange best practices and increase coordination of policy measures to support vulnerable and energy-poor households.
The Social Climate Fund, established in May 2023 by Regulation EU 2023/955, aims to provide funding to EU countries to support vulnerable households, including those affected by energy poverty, and vulnerable microenterprises by supporting investments for increased energy efficiency. To access this funding, EU countries must submit their social climate plans by June 2025.
The revised Energy Efficiency Directive EU 2023/1791, agreed and published in September 2023, puts a stronger focus on alleviating energy poverty and empowering consumers through a series of wide-reaching measures.
On the 23rd of October 2023, the Commission published a new recommendation on energy poverty CA 2023/1080, together with a guidance document SWD 2023/647, and renewed on the same day the Joint Declaration on Enhanced Consumer Protection for the Winter, originally signed in December 2022.
The Energy Poverty Advisory Hub (EPAH) is the leading EU initiative aiming to eradicate energy poverty. It was launched by the Commission in 2021 at the request of the European Parliament and builds on the EU Energy Poverty Observatory project 2016 to 2020.
The EPAH offers a space for collaboration and exchange between local and regional authorities to tackle energy poverty, while accelerating the just energy transition.
It provides online guidance and knowledge products for diagnosing, measuring and planning actions to tackle energy poverty at local level from a national and EU perspective, including
Publications an interactive database that allows stakeholders to discover local and international projects and measures addressing energy poverty, courses to increase knowledge on energy poverty and mitigation action calls for technical assistance to directly assist local governments in taking action on energy poverty.
Together with the Covenant of Mayors, the EPAH also developed a reporting mechanism that cities can use to track the progress in eradicating energy poverty.
Across Europe, various projects are developing innovative solutions to combat energy poverty. Horizon 2020 energy efficiency granted approximately €29 million to 16 projects addressing energy poverty through its 2014 to 2020 calls. These projects contributed to the exchange of best practices among stakeholders, empowering local communities and consumers in tackling energy poverty.
The Life Clean Energy Transition Programme has a budget of nearly €1 billion for the period of 2021-2027 and covers projects that further explore measures to alleviate energy poverty. Project developers work closely with networks of local actors and energy-poor households to provide practical information and advice on energy efficiency solutions and building-related interventions in vulnerable districts.
In addition to the work of the EPAH, the EU Building Stock Observatory, the Smart Cities Marketplace, and the EU Covenant of Mayors can further assist EU countries in identifying energy poverty